And it begins.
It was a warmer than normal day 6 years ago when Dan Threlkeld started a new chapter in Channel 8 history.
It's a big day here at Tulsa's Channel 8. One of our good friends, who you've seen quite a bit, is now our chief meteorologist.
Yeah, that's right. Let's send it over to our chief meteorologist, Dan Threlkeld. And Dan, before you get to the weather, we want to let you know how excited we are that you're here with us.
Thank you so much. Everyone here has already made me feel like family.
Now Dan's ready to write a different chapter, one that gives him more time with his wife and his 2 kids.
Man, thinking back on all these years, a lot of memories were made. I always remember when you came up with the idea to make a series about cheap Oklahoma vacations. You shot, edited, and produced it. We went to swimming holes, we went to petting zoos.
And they went horseback riding too.
Did you guys have fun?
Yeah.
Think we ought to do it again?
Definitely.
All right, we'll see you later. We had a blast. So.
Okay.
When I went to college, I wasn't able to watch him on TV anymore. And I hadn't realized until that moment what an important part of the community he is. I'd never in my whole life been scared of storms, not even tornadoes, because I knew that my dad would tell me what I needed to know. He kept me safe, and we'll just never really even know how many thousands of people he's kept safe over the last 40 years.
As author Vivian Green wrote, life is not about waiting for the storms to pass. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. And Dan's been helping Oklahomans to dance for a long time now, getting his first break in TV in Lawton in the early 80s.
And by the mid-80s, he was in Oklahoma City.
Winds are gusting between 30 and 40 miles per hour. It's mixed in with sleet. It stings when it hits you.
It was a very different sting when Dan headed into the eye of Hurricane Andrew as it pummeled Louisiana.
And just flying like rockets through the air. Tremendous amount of wind, rain coming down pretty heavy. Emergency generators in this town are working pretty much. Now we're in the dark.
It's hard to imagine just looking at the wind and the rain effect on me that the winds have actually gone down to about half of what they were even a couple of hours ago.
And he's covered more tornadoes than he can count over the decades.
Do not go outside. Stay where you're at.
It was a monster tornado with 300-mile-an-hour winds. There's no doubt May 3rd changed lives. And it's a night we will never forget.
We haven't, and neither has Dan. It's still the most powerful tornado ever recorded, and it cut a devastating path.
If you weren't in the area 20 years ago, the main visible sign that you would notice is right here in Stroud, where once stood a large outlet mall. But after May 3rd, no more.
I think the first time we worked together, we did wall-to-wall severe weather coverage for like 7 or 8 hours. And I remember thinking, this guy is fantastic. He's smart, he's funny, and he knows his Oklahoma weather.
The sky is never falling with Dan. And he was like that around the newsroom a lot. He was a stabilizing force, a steady guy, and a gentleman to everyone he worked with. He was always great to be around. In the future, we hope he does well now that every day is Saturday.
Dan, congratulations. You have made it to retirement, and oh, what a dream. You're gonna have a fantastic retirement, so next time these dark clouds start rolling in, you won't be thinking about hustling up to work. You'll be thinking about grabbing a beverage and heading to the back porch to enjoy Mother Nature the way we're supposed to.
We've had a lot of fun along the way, too.
Come on out here and just have a great time. That's what the Tulsa State Fair is all about. You know, weather sometimes can be a 3-ring circus, but we actually have one going on right now as we speak.
Better get that lawn mowed. You're doing that tomorrow?
That or I'm going to get my Speedo and head down to the slip and slide thing downtown. It's a tough choice, Mark.
Wow.
Over the years, Oklahomans have really gotten to know Dan, inviting him into their homes each night, like another member of their family, sharing in the good times.
I was quite busy yesterday, and hopefully we'll have a picture that we can show you. That's what I was taking care of yesterday. That's Brian Carl, born almost 24 hours ago, 24 hours and 15 minutes ago.
As for Mom,
she's doing better than I am.
All right.
I'm an emotional wreck, but we're happy about that.
You look good, though.
Oklahomans have also been there through some tough times, sending prayers and well wishes.
They said, we're going to ICU right now because he might stop breathing.
I found out my gallbladder had come apart. It had exploded.
Very quickly after surgery, he could not walk.
But Dan was not about to give up.
When you can't walk and you can finally take a few steps, I mean, you just want to cry. I wanted to move. I wanted to move bad. In that wheelchair, if they said do 2 laps around the corridor. I'd do 6.
Anyone who knows Dan knows he's always on the move, between fixing up old cars, working with his wife Joanne in their garden, or on our YouTube cooking channel. He likes to keep busy.
He used to run a lot too, and not just marathons, he ran ultra marathons.
I've said my prayers, I've used Vaseline in all the right places, and we'll soon find out, won't we? We'll soon find out if I was ready.
Dan was determined, taking it one step at a time, tens of thousands of them.
It's over. 8 hours, 16 minutes, 2 seconds, 41.2 miles. I'm tired. I don't feel like dancing. And I'm glad I can sit down now.
That same determination that kept Dan going all those years ago drove a desire to get his life back after his brush with death. So when he heard Ironman was coming to Tulsa, he was quick to welcome the challenge, maybe a little too quick.
He didn't ask me, should I enter this? He had already entered it.
41 years of marriage. Ask for forgiveness.
He competed in an Ironman years earlier, but he knew this time the training was going to be harder. So he made a plan and he trained. He trained a lot.
You can do it. Don't let work or life be an excuse. Set a goal, work towards it, overcome the challenges. I know it's not AC, but there's your Dan fan to cool you off. There you go, here's your Dan fan.
There are a lot of Dan fans who are going to miss him.
Thank you for not only being the meteorologist you are, where you inform and don't scare, but also for just being a wonderful human. Love you, bro.
And I know that you're the best meteorologist Channel 8 has ever had. And that's a high standard when you have Don Woods there. Anyway, again, I just want to say congratulations. I wish you the very best as you go on. I'll be watching on YouTube.
We found a few folks who've known Dan since the very beginning in Lawton.
I will always remember you with fondness. I appreciate just the fun times that we had together at Poncho's, running that flag up and down. You know, I think we probably set it on fire a few times.
By the time Dan and I left, that flag was barely hanging on. It was really frayed, and the wait staff would hide when we would show up because we had them going back and forth to the kitchen so much. But we were young and we weren't making much, and it filled us up all day and night when we would do that.
Not only were their bellies full, their hearts were too. And anyone will tell you, Dan has a heart of gold. He's learned a lot over the years, and he's shared that wisdom with his coworkers. He even shared a little with us on his very first day as our chief.
We've got a lot of computers, radar, we'll use the computer models and all the high-tech stuff, but I gotta tell you, a good meteorologist also knows when to stick their head out the back door and look at the sky, and I promise you, I'll be doing that to make sure that we're giving you exactly what's going on. You need to wear the biggest coat you have, the biggest, thickest, ugliest hat that you can find.
All that high-tech equipment Dan's got at his fingertips now, well, when he first started, his fingertips were about all he had. After pulling printouts and pouring through the data, it was time to grab a pen and paper.
And then draw all the maps that it takes to go through an hour-long newscast.
Of course, a lot has changed over the past 4 decades.
But some things haven't.
After everything's done, I need to go basically go get pretty. This is television.
So it's time to lose the tie. It's Friday night, so it's time to say it is Friday night.